Blessings and greetings. Greetings and blessings ourselves. We're alive because we're intended to stay alive in this most existential of moments. Configured to toward Chaim and tokens of life, toward Chesed, tokens of kindness, towards Racham, tokens of mercies. We're going to be gleaning some inspirations from a Hasidic discourse, otherwise known as a mimer, delivered by the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Schusa Yoga Lena, may his merits protect us. It was on the Achron Shel Pesach, or the last day of Passover, in 1985, also known as 5745 on the Hebrew lunar calendar. So there is a Haftorah that is read and will be read, has been read for the last couple of thousand years, from the book of Isaiah, which is in chapter 11, verses 15 and 16, which reads like this: Creator will dry up the Nile Delta, and he wave his hand over the Euphrates River with the power of his breath. He will break it into 7 streams and lead the people across in dry shoes. There will be a road from Assyria for the remnant of his people, as there was for Israel on the day it went up from the land of Egypt. That's the prophecy. That's something we should be looking forward to speedily in our days. Now, to understand that, we have to go into the context of who is the Mashiach, the Messiah, according to the nation of Israel, in a general way, in a more specific way, as defined by the Nesher Godol, the great eagle, Rambam, Maimonides, Moshe ben Maimon. Rambam wrote that the distinctive quality that Mashiach will have is that he will teach Torah to everyone. Our sages wrote that the Creator will reveal a new Torah. And this is brought down. The sources for this are in Tanna Debei Eliyahu Rabbah. It was taught in the house of Elijah, the larger version of it, chapter 20. In Vayikra Rabbah in the Midrash for the book of Leviticus, chapter 13, section 20. It was chapter 20 again, Tanna Debei Eliyahu Rabbah. And Midrash Tehillim, the Midrashim on Psalms, chapter 16, verse 9. Now, the Midrash also lets us know, which are part of the homiletic teachings, or some would say they are part of the secrets of the Torah, that the way we'll be learning Torah will be in a new fashion. In the future, we'll be learning Torah by sight, which is an unprecedented phenomenon, which means that our sight will be, we shall see what's being told to us by virtue of the level of the thought that we can access the thoughts of Torah. The Torah, as we understand today, derives from the aspect of speech. And historically, this was so, because after all, the Creator spoke out the 10 Commandments and verbally transmitted the written oral Torah to Moses on Mount Sinai. But in the future, the Creator will transmit dimensions of Torah that have never been revealed, otherwise known as the new Torah, not to negate the old one, because the old one is eternal, but that we will be having insight through the faculty of sight. And it will not resemble the contemporary revealed Torah that was learned below, as we have now, and this Torah has been described as something which is not in heaven. After all, the legal decisions of Torah, of divine law, apply to affairs here on earth. As King Solomon disclosed, that angels descend in the book of Song of Songs by King Solomon in chapter 8, verse 13, that the angels descend below to hearken to your Torah learning. Likewise, when we talk about the future revelations of Torah, which Zohar calls the soul of the Torah, Ishmas D'Oraisa, will not remain in heaven. And the principal application of these inner aspects of Torah will also be on the earth, and their revelation will be by sight, meaning we'll be able to see in a conceptual fashion based on our thought process. As we know, that sometimes when we're learning or in discussion with other people, the person will say, I hear what you're saying. Well, it's obvious you hear what I'm saying, but hearing also implies I understand. And when I say I see what you're saying, then I can conceptualize in my mind what you're saying. I don't necessarily see exactly what you're saying, meaning the person is describing a beautiful scenery in the woods. So I can see you're describing a beautiful place, but I don't see it, that sheer beauty. But paradoxically speaking, we will be able to see the beauty of the forest of the creation in the times of Mashiach. We'll have basically something akin to prophetic experiences learning Torah. So now we can understand, going back to this prophecy of Isaiah, which talked about the splitting of the Euphrates River. I mean, person might say, well, wasn't the splitting of the Red Sea enough? Sufficient? No, it wasn't. There's a different instruction relating to the splitting of the Euphrates River, which will occur during the Messianic times, speedily in our days. It will resemble the manner in which the revealed Torah, called the body of the Torah, the Guf Shal Torah, became revealed. For only by the splitting of the sea was the world of speech, the revealed world, made known on Mount Sinai. That's interesting. So there was a process that was activated by the splitting of the Red Sea almost 3,336 years ago, which was an antecedent to the revelation of the speech at Mount Sinai, and the Creator revealing to Moses, the Levite prophet, and the 12 tribes of Israel on that mountain, otherwise known as Har Chorev or Har Sinai. Now, the Sea of Reeds, which is the Red Sea, Yam Suf, is identical to the word Sof, which means end or extremity, and it alludes to the Malchus, the kingship, the world of speech, because by speech does a person rule. How much more so by speech does a king rule? The king makes a decree through the faculty of speech. And the world of speech is actually not just an elevated form of transmission of consciousness, it's also the lowest attribute in the world of emanation, the world of intellect, Tzilos. We know this because King David said in Psalms, the heavens were made with the speech of God, and that which is above us was revealed with the faculty of the speech. The Creator, speech of the Creator is also referred to as revelation. The Creator didn't have to speak. He wasn't compelled to speak. He chose to speak because it rose up in his divine wisdom Sinai and at the beginning of the creation, before there was a human being, to speak, to reveal. Kingship's words, meaning the words of the king, or the revelations of the Most High, create all the worlds. That's because the function of speech is to project words to the outside. There they become separate and independent of the speaker who spoke those words. Corresponding to the created worlds, it initiates and makes possible kingship. The world of speech is likewise termed the revealed world. In the future era, talking about the times of the redemption and forward, because even levels above the redemption era, but that's for another time, a simple process will be necessary to facilitate the revelation of the Torah of the Mashiach, Torah Shel Mashiach, the Torah of the Messiah, the King of Israel, that there will be a calling out for the world of thought, which is a concealed world, because again, what you're thinking, no one else knows. But yet, in the days of Mashiach, thought shall be revealed. And the world of thought, the concealed, will also have to split open, which is alluded to in the splitting of the Red Sea, Yam Suf, Sea of Reeds, and ultimately the Euphrates River. But why should this event occur precisely in a river? The Zohar answers that the faculty of thought is allegorized as a river. We'll read one more paragraph. Thought never remains still. I know there are people that claim they stop thinking, but when they stop thinking, their thoughts are, I'm not thinking. So it's impossible because the thought process, machshava meshutetes, that there's a constant thought process going on as long as the soul is invested in the body. So anyone who tells you they can't think or they have stopped thinking are thinking those thoughts that they can't think anymore, which is truly a crippling type of consciousness. Thought never remains still. Therefore, the Hebrew word for river is derived from the word for flowing. So Isaiah says, it will happen in the end of days that the mountain of God's temple will be established. All the nations will stream to it. Just looking for that source in Isaiah. That is in Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2. The future revelation will be such that the Mashiach's Torah, Messiah's Torah, will spread in a manner resembling the ever-increasing breadth of a river, which is one of the dimensions, 3 dimensions. There's breadth, width, length, and omek, in the depth. This is the concept of the future splitting of the river. Just as the sea split to permit the higher lights it concealed to shine below, likewise the river will split to allow Mashiach's Torah to become revealed. The Mashiach will teach the inner Torah, his new Torah, meaning which has never been revealed before. Not to negate the Torah that we have now, which is called the revealed plan of the Torah. But the new Torah, meaning revelations which never were accessible to even the greatest of prophets in this world. Maybe they access it in the Garden of Eden, the Gan Eden, the upper worlds above this world, where they still live as living souls. But the Mashiach will teach the inner Torah, and his new Torah corresponds to the world of thought. Hence, that which today conceals and covers the world of thought must first be nullified. Only then can the infinite lights hidden therein be revealed. So we'll stop here, blessed souls. Much to think about. And hopefully we will continue during this week talking about this mimer by the Rebbe, which goes on for another 8 or 9 pages. Hopefully we will be able to finish. In the meantime, Ahavachad, one love. Let's pray for peace, the ultimate attribute not just of brotherhood, but it's the ultimate strength, because it brings together opposite sides, and we see so many opposite sides right now. So we want the attribute of peace, which is an attribute of the Kodesh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, to be revealed, to humble the hearts of the arrogant and to uplift the hearts of the downtrodden. Let's get to the next smile with that award-winning smile.